All right, let's talk about testing. Specifically, how it might just be the one thing that can double your team's velocity. Look, most improvements give you tiny gains, right? But there's one investment that can completely change the game. Doubling your impact with testing? That's a huge claim. So how in the world does that actually work? It's not about typing faster. It's about getting rid of fear. That's where real speed, real velocity comes from. Think about where time really goes. It's not writing new code. It's all this other stuff that kills momentum. So get this, adding more tests can actually make you slower. How is that possible? It all comes down to one thing. The number one enemy? Test maintenance cost. It's the time you spend fixing tests that drains all the value. So the real trick is to design tests that basically never need maintenance. That is the holy grail here.
Okay, so what's a scope boundary? It's just the line you draw around your code to define what the test covers. Every connection that crosses that line has to be faked or mocked, and that makes your tests super brittle. You want a minimal cut, one that only crosses a few really stable APIs. This is absolutely the key. Seriously, getting this scope right is the most important part. It's how you get those low-maintenance tests. So how do you find that minimal cut? Just ask yourself these 3 simple questions to stay on track. Okay, so what kind of tests should we just not write? Well, let's talk about a big one. Yeah, component tests, they're usually not worth it. They take forever to write, and they break all the time. Here's a much better way. Pull the complex logic out, and then just test that. So much simpler. So what about test coverage? Everyone wants high coverage, right? But honestly, that can be a huge trap. If you're manually writing unit tests for over 50% of your front-end code, you've probably gone too far. You might actually be slowing your own team down with too much testing. So what is worth it? Focus on complex logic, a few key integrations, and your most critical user flows. Now, these tricks will make you faster, but they won't double your speed. For that, we gotta go even bigger. The ultimate goal? Get test maintenance costs to 0. Literally 0. Now that's a game changer. Look, manually testing everything is impossible. The maintenance alone will sink you. But what if it were automatic? What if every single thing a dev does becomes a test that never goes stale? That's it. That's the path.